and a very warm welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix, an event that has decided a Drivers' Championship 11 times over the years and has hosted some very memorable races as well. Who can forget Kimi Raikkonen's win from 17th on the grid in 2005, or Kamui Kobayashi's incredible drive to a podium in 2012. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, and it's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 racetrack. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar, and keep an eye out for overtakes going into the final chicane. And all this will be happening under the watchful eye of Anthony Davidson, who joins me for today's race. And assuming the weather holds, where do you expect to see the action unfolding today, Ant?
Well, most of the time, passing here is limited very much into the final chicane, or maybe down into turn 1 if you get a good run and some assistance from DRS. But if we're lucky, we might see a bit of bravery into the hairpin, a place that Kamui Kobayashi certainly made his own in the 2010 Grand Prix on his way to a very impressive 7th place. And as you say, Crofty, this is all assuming that the conditions hold out. We know how quickly the clouds can come in here at Suzuka, and if they do, all bets will be off.
You've done well to put it on pole, but we've still got work to do. Trying to cover the inside line off the start.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. It's Renault in pole position then, and P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Vettel, Nico Rosberg, and Hamilton, Bottas, Massa, Verstappen, and Roman Grosjean, Sainz, Button, Kevin Magnussen, and Gutierrez.
Sat in P2, Ricciardo is ahead of you, 6 laps until your pit window is open, 27 laps to go. Exiting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. Exit now. We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy. Gap to car in front is 0.9 seconds. The car behind you has just fitted the hard tyres. Car behind, running hards. We shouldn't see any rain, but if a storm front does appear, then we'll let you know. Kevin is in the pits. Go now. 31.1 seconds. Raikkonen's the race leader. We're expecting light rain to arrive within 15 minutes. We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. The gap to the car ahead is 24.9 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. job, you did really well. Super driving.
A great win then for the Maranello team today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well though, there's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I think it's got to be Kimi Raikkonen. He's not always spectacular, but he quietly gets the job done. And that's the case today.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.